Arnold Lewis on the ATP network, where it's everything overseas basketball, whether that's finances, whether that be finding an agent, whether it be getting your mindset ready for overseas basketball. And excuse me if I don't speak as well because I am taking one of these halls. Not trademarking halls, but I am taking one because my voice feeling a little harsh, like a little a little scratchy. So we got to take care of that. Got to take care of ourselves. But this is the place where you want to be if you want to know everything about the mindset of overseas basketball player. I always love to speak and tell everybody that come here, when you come here, just understand this is just a place of where we find the deepest aspects of our inner being and try to maximize that. What do I mean by that? What I mean is we're just trying to get better as individuals, as people every day. And this is just the thoughts and the perspection of a basketball player that's been doing it for 12 years and trying to give game back to everything that I wasn't given. So you get to watch me go through the things that I wish someone would have told me and watch me navigate them now. So if you're ever in this situation in your life, you can learn from what I did, take from what I did, or if anything that I say resonates with you, you can use that in your life and hopefully it helps you. You know, I'm just giving back my experience. That's the gist of everything that I'm doing here. I'm giving my experience because experience is one of the best teachers, even if it doesn't come from you. I mean, that's what mentors are for. They've been through so many things. They've lived a certain life. Other people want to live that life. So they go to them so they can give them the advantages, the tips, the tricks to try to advance and avoid a lot of the pitfalls that they went through. That's why I have my Arnold's Thoughts podcast where we talk about, I interview a lot of guys in overseas life. Basically when we getting cut, basically the money situation, the day-to-day life just of overseas basketball players, like in their midst, in their time, actually living the game, playing and getting different perspectives so you can really know what you're walking into. As well as when you're in this game, you know how to really get the best out of this game, because I can tell you what, being a pro sometimes, I remember watching The Last Dance and Dennis Rodman was like, I'll play basketball for free. We get paid to deal with the BS. And that is what I feel right now. You get paid to deal with the BS. You don't really get paid to play basketball. You get paid to deal with the BS that comes with playing pro basketball. The politics that nobody talks about in pro basketball. No one talks about these things. And that's the big part of the game. Dealing with the BS on the business side. Dealing with teams where you're not even getting, like, I had a friend of mine, he was on another team. They're first in the league right now. We just actually lost to them in our last game without him. But they, how you doing? How you doing? Appreciate everybody tapping in. Make sure y'all like the live. Make sure you like the live, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in. They cut him and his team was in first place. He's in first place and they cut him. And it wasn't even the coach or the team, and it wasn't because they wasn't playing well or he wasn't playing well. It was just because he was out a couple games for a knee. His knee was bothering him. Just like majority of basketball players. The first things that's going to go out is the knees and ankles. So he had a little bit of issue with his knee. Got rid of him. Coach didn't agree. Fans didn't agree. Don't matter. Fans could get you out of there. Presidents, you got sometimes, like most of these organizations, like for instance here in Uruguay, they're ran by football clubs. Football, soccer, is one of the biggest sports in all the world, for sure. Probably the biggest sport in all the world, soccer. So in countries like Uruguay, where teams like Penarol are like some of the best teams in the world, they have a lot of money and a lot of power, and they think like football players, where I guess in how they function They just have the mindset, if you're not winning right now, or if you're not giving us what we want, if it don't look the way we want, you're out of here. They don't even know basketball. They just know we pay the money to win. And that's how it is. They pay money for you to win. They don't pay for the process. That's why you only get to see that in like NBA when they get these rookies and stuff like that. And they're able to last a little bit so they can try to build the chemistry. It's very rare to see players sign for more than 2 years on one team at a time. A team that's trying to, if a team signs you a 2-year, 3-year, it's because they believe in the system and they believe in the future, and they actually know real winning comes from keeping a team together. To win, you have to keep a team together for years. The teams that win are people that have been playing together for probably more than 2 to 3 years together. Those are championship teams. It takes time to just go out and win it. And especially if you're not like superstars. Even there's a team right now. They got NBA players. They got some of the best players on the league, and they're losing. They're not playing well because they don't have that team chemistry together to actually build together. You can't. I've seen it happen so many times when a team throws a lot of money at one team. I mean, they go get a lot of high-priced players, and they don't pan out. I've seen that happen a lot of times. But that's just the business. That's the business that we choose to take part in. Like we got paid probably like 2 weeks late. Got paid probably like 2 weeks late this last time. And you know what? I'm so used to it that, so they said they got in our contract that you will get paid between the 1st and the 10th. We got paid on the 13th. But I've never had a contract where they say you get paid in between the 1st and the 10th, but it's always on the 10th. It's never on the 1st. Or we only pay between the 1st and the 10th. No, what you're saying is y'all playing on the 10th. That's like the latest that y'all will wait. What am I going to do? Get mad and leave? How many people just say, you know what, I'm going to get up and leave my job that's paying me $6,000, $7,000 a month because it's a little late and I ain't got no other job and I've been doing this for over 10 years, for over a decade. You're not leaving that. You getting paid $4,000, $3,500 a month. You're not just picking up and leaving that. You're not just kicking up and leaving that money. So you're going to deal with the nonsense that comes with the job. And this is in I don't think there has been a country, a team I've played with that hasn't paid me late. That has not paid me late. I believe I have been on over 30-something teams in my career. And out of that 30 of them have paid me late. Just the nature of the business. It's just the nature of the business. That's what's just gonna happen. You just gotta deal with it. If y'all would like to tap into my Patreon, I think I have the link to the Patreon, but I give some personal interviews with some guys. I got some personal interviews with some guys where we're talking about the things that happened right after he got cut. But it's like I have 2 interviews with him. One is on the channel, and the other one is in the Patreon, where we are talking about, he's talking to the team right after he got cut. So basically, if you go check out that, what's his name? It's TJ Showtime. I think it's called Hothead. The video is called Hothead. So go check out that video. What is TJ name? I can't even remember his last name, but the name is Hothead. And on this episode, me and him talking, and it's about basically how he got upset in the middle of practice and he just walked out of practice. So he got kicked off the team because we're in the playoffs. He got mad and he was like, man, y'all being racist. So he basically said that the coach was being racist because he wasn't calling a foul for him in practice. I'm like, bro, we're finna go into the playoffs. They're going to be following us way worse than this, and they're not going to be calling it. So just it's practice, bro. Just fight through it. Basically, that's all I was saying. Like, bro, they're going to be treating us way worse on the road. Listen, Argentina basketball on the road, they don't call anything. Any team like South America, for the most part, if you play on the road, the whistle is not going to be in your favor, and it's a completely big discrepancy in what they call for the home team against the road team. So anyways, he decided, I'm finna walk out. I'm walking out of practice. I'm tired of this. Coach, you being racist. The coach is not being racist. I like the coach. He was the assistant coach. Me and him still friends to this day. I did not feel one bit of racism from him, of any like feeling towards, like, I didn't feel no racism towards him like that. So I don't really think that he was racist. You know what I'm saying? Oh, give me 1 second. Just realized you left the goddamn light on. Like, why is it? Look. The light's not supposed to be on. So he was being racist. I'm like, bro, he's not racist. Long story short, he walked out of practice, gets kicked out of practice. Oh, no, he didn't get kicked out. First, we just stopped the practice for like 30 minutes. Nah, I'm exaggerating. We started practice for like a good 15 minutes and just let him walk around and just be upset. So then coach was like, yeah, we got to keep practicing. We went and started practicing, took him out, let him get his rest. He just decides, I'm finna walk out of practice. Walks out of practice. Coach is like, if he walk out, he done. He walk out, he done. He walked out. He walked out. Tried to text the coach saying, I apologize. Coach is like, hey, it's over with. I'm not going for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going for that. You don't get to do that. You disrespect. You can't disrespect the whole organization because you're upset. No one person is bigger than the group. It's just how he rolls. And that's actually one of my favorite coaches. You got to respect that. Like, bro, this is how I roll. You don't get to just disrespect the whole group. Like, this is a unit. You could be upset, but you can't do things, because if we're in the game, you can't pull a Scottie Pippen and just be like, I'm out. Take me out for the last possession of the game when we're in the playoffs trying to win, and I'm going to just take myself out. You're making yourself bigger than the group. Can't do that. So he got fired after that. And then he was on the phone with the GMs and telling them about what was going on. And I have a recorder up and I'm having a conversation about what's really going on. So in the Patreon, you can find that conversation. It's an audio podcast of him talking, and you can hear what we're talking about in the whole, like, this is like the behind the scenes content that I can't put on here. If you want to see the real content of these type of situations, I need to upload some more, try to really grow the Patreon. But this is what I have on the Patreon. Behind the scenes content, all these type of things like that, of these type of situations of like what really go on. That's just the overseas life. This is what we signed up for. This is what we say we wanted to do. This is what you say you want to do. You say you love the game. Now, I understand his situation, and I told him, bro, you were wrong. Excuse me. I told him, you were wrong in that situation. You shouldn't have, they wanted you here. You chose not to be here. You chose not to do it. So that's on you. But in general, so basically, they owed him another $2,000 or something. I think it was. Or they owed him half of his check. I can't remember the exact amount. They owed him half of his check, and they didn't pay him the rest of the half because he walked out of practice. So they basically, even though he worked the 2 weeks, and they owed him exactly half, it's over with. It's over with. He was like, man, I'm finna sue. I'm finna do this. It was basically like, bet, do your thing. And that's really how it is, because you think about it, you trying to go against the organization and they got more firepower than you. They've been through these cases, and these cases to get if you don't have an agent that knows the system, that knows how to take these teams to court, and this process is always over a year or something long. It's always over a year or something long to try to take a team to court. If you try to take a team to court to get your money, I heard some guys waiting 3-4 years to get their money from teams that done them wrong, and they try to get their money or they didn't pay them or something like that. I specifically remember in one instance, a teammate that I played with last year, played together on the same team. His name is Prince Ali. Got an episode with him called Prince Ali. We did an episode right after he got cut. And he was talking about when he was playing in China. And when he was playing out there, they was getting paid probably like $25,000 a month, something like that, $25 a month. And he played maybe 2-3 months. And he kept saying, man, I don't want to go back to China. I don't want to go back to China. They're too shiesty. They too, they do people wrong. I was like, what you mean? He was like, man, what up, Grace? He was like, man, I ain't got paid in like 2 months. And when I left, my agent basically went and tried to sue them because they didn't want to pay. And the minute he said they finna sue them, they hit him up immediately. Because I ain't gonna lie, that's what they will do. They will ignore your messages. Like, once we're not working together no more, you're done. Like, I'm not holding nothing more towards you. I'm not talking to you no more. You're on your own. That's how they are. That is exactly how they are. So he was like, well, all right, then. Well, we're just going to take it to FIBA. Took him to FIBA. He said, we're going to take it to FIBA and we're going to sue you. So his agent got everything together. So he had a good agent because he played in like Euro Cup and stuff like that. So he had a very high-priced agent. And he said, the minute they wrote them saying that they was finna sue them, they wrote him back immediately and said, hey, yo, no, you don't have to do that. We're going to give you your money. We're just not going to pay the other imports. So don't tell them. We're going to give you your money, but we're not going to give them their money. We're just going to give you the money, but just don't tell the other imports because we're just going to give them the money. And he had to make a decision. He was like, shoot, I'm not finna go say nothing and they don't pay me my money. So I really got to keep quiet, get my money, and hopefully they go and have a good enough agent that could try to you basically got to threaten them to give you your money by taking legal action for them to act right. That's basically what you had to do. Then that's the type of situations you got to be in a lot of times if you don't get your money overseas. There's been a few times that I didn't get my money overseas. I believe one time it was quite a few times. Earlier, most of the time it was early on in my rookie year, but it could happen at any point in time. Now I'm with good enough agents that I know like if something happens, they're gonna take them to court, and I'm gonna get my bread. So my rookie year, I was just talking about this the other day. My rookie year, when I signed to go to a team in Cibacopa, Mexico, which is a summer league. I signed for $2,500 a month. I signed for $2,500 a month. We had preseason. See, this is where it gets real janky. We had preseason. So they were like, oh, we're only going to pay you half your salary for the preseason, and when the regular season starts, you get paid your full salary. Okay. I did the 2 weeks of preseason, and then they cut me 2 days before the first game. I got cut 2 days before the first game, my first contract that I actually took. They didn't give me the full contract, I did the whole preseason. They didn't give me the full preseason. They said, oh, preseason is only half the price. And since you did the preseason, we're going to give you half of the half. Now that I think about it, how I got scammed so bad and how they took advantage of me so bad. I got paid like $650 for the 2 weeks. I signed for $2,500. They were supposed to give me $1,250. They gave me half of that, so it was like $625 or something like that. And on top of that, they had me. They said that it was going to trade me to another team. So I need to get on a bus and go to another team in Mexico. Now, if you don't know Mexico, Mexico is huge. So when you say a bus, if you're taking a bus to somewhere in Mexico, easy 18 hours. Easily an 18-hour ride. And I'm on the bus. I'm on the bus going to another team. Sí, yo puedo hablar un poquito en español. No pasa nada. No hay mucha gente aquí hoy. ¿Qué quiere? ¿Qué es su pregunta? And for the people on the podcast or on the audio version, somebody asked me, can I speak in Spanish? So I'm going to take a little intermission from that story and talk in Spanish. ¿Qué quiere saber en español, though? Hace tu pregúntame, me voy a seguir a hablar en inglés. So I say until he asks me something, I'm gonna keep talking English. So I get traded and I'm on this bus. I'm like 4 hours in on the bus ride, and I get a text message on WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, on Messenger. Somebody on Messenger wrote me, "Hola Charlie, eso solo tú quieres un saludo a Charlie." So I'm riding on the bus and I get to this like changing bus station where people could buy bus tickets. And they said, this is the last stop until the next town, which I was going, which was like another 12 hours. If I didn't turn around right there, I would have to stay there. I would have ridden another 8 hours there, and there was no turning around. When I got there, I had got Wi-Fi. I looked at the Wi-Fi, look at the messenger. I just happened to look at the messenger and said the coach had messaging. This wasn't when WhatsApp was there. Wasn't using WhatsApp. People were still writing each other on Facebook. I think that's how we did our whole contract. He wrote me on Facebook, and we were texting through Facebook. And he said, "Hey, man, these guys are tripping out here on the other team. Turn back around and come back." If I didn't look and see that message, I would have went all the way there and had to get on the bus and come all the way back. So I still did an 8-hour bus ride, going to a team that said it was going to give me an opportunity. That didn't happen. To coming back to the same team that just cut me and having to stay there. They let me stay there like another 2-3 days until they got my ticket for me to fly back home. Didn't have no agent. First contract. This is what you sign up for. These are the things you sign up for. These type of situations. I got supposed to get 2,500. If I look back on that scenario and I look back on that whole situation of my first year on my contract, I was supposed to get my whole 2,500. If they're gonna give me 2 weeks, 1,250 was what I was supposed to get, which was fine because I did half the time. Getting paid $600 or something like that was just pure robbery and scammery. Robbery and scammery. Like, to be scammed like that is treacherous. But you don't know what you don't know, and you can't control what you don't know because I was a rookie. I didn't have no agent. I didn't have nobody that could put the fire up on them. I had nobody backing me and say, hey, no, what you're doing is wrong. And if you don't, we're going to go to the league and we're going to sue you and you're going to come up off this bread. Until you get to that point where you can have somebody in your corner that you can say, we're going to sue you. We're going to sue you. Then you don't really have a fighting chance. You don't got a fighting chance. And not every agent is. That's why you got to make sure your agent got a. If you're getting an agent, make sure your agent, especially when you're first coming out, at least is a certified agent registered with FIBA. Because at least they're the agents that can actually go and file and go to court for you. If you get an agent that's not certified, who just like lives in the country and knows people and has a lot of connections, gracias Charlie, and has a lot of connections, they're a lot tougher because they're just known for their area. Unless it's like a big country like China, not even China. I would recommend don't ever work with an agent in China unless he's certified. Cause them boys will get over on you. Everybody will get over on you if you don't have correct representation. Everybody will get over on you if you don't have correct representation. That's big in this game. Having the correct representation, because that will set you apart in your career, because teams will take advantage of you. And the last thing I'm going to talk about before I get up off of here is, I don't know if you guys have seen, if you follow me on Instagram, Arnold Lewis, my tag is THR3E434, but just type in Arnold Lewis and I'm on IG. I just made a reel of a guy that I know, Antonio Blakeney. Tone is what they call him. Antonio Blakeney just got arrested, or he just got indicted for gambling. Man, he just got for gambling. Let me see if I can find I want to find the video I did. Tone. Y'all follow me on IG, TikTok, ATP Network. Sigaman, TikTok, ATP. Antonio Blakeney. Antonio Blakeney. Dang, bro. Too many people are getting caught up in these gambling scams, bro. Too many people are getting caught up in these gambling scams for basketball players. Bro, you play... What team is it that he played for? He played for the same team that... How you spell his last name? I need to find his last name. Dang, there you go. Wow. Times in India. Antonio Blakeney among 17 players charged as federal prosecutors expose major NCAA and Chinese basketball betting scam. Dang. He never expected his name to appear in federal court, but on Thursday, federal prosecutors from U.S. Department of Justice declared the former college All-American is one of 17 basketball players charged in a large point-shaving scheme that fixed games in both the NCAA and the Chinese Basketball Association. Dang. According to this indictment unsealed in Philadelphia, the scheme ran from September 2022 to February. Those boys is getting money. Mi favorito lugar que yo vive antes fue en Tailandia, en Bangkok. Y en China. Chengdu es la ciudad. Fue una muy buena ciudad en China. Chengdu. Chendgu. China. September 22nd to February 2025. For 3 years, them boys was running a scam. 3 years they was running a scam. Federal prosecutors said players were paid bribes to play poorly on purpose so gamblers could win bet. China is the king of betting on games. China is the king of betting on games. This case names 20 total defendants, including players and people accused of running the betting plan. 3 years. Prosecutor says sports books and regular bettors lost money because games were no longer fair. The sports book would not have paid out wagers had they known the defendants fixed the game. The case was filed in the U.S. Department of Justice and officially says one of the most serious betting fraud cases involving college basketball in recent years. Point shaving. There's a documentary. Who else did you think? Antonio Sedquavius. Jesus, if there was ever a black name I've heard before, that's probably the blackest name. Sedquavius Hunter. And DeQuavion Short Sequavius and DeQuavion. Sequavius and DeQuavion. You know them some niggas. God damn. As a scheme spread across NCAA and CBA. CBA, that's one thing I'll tell you for sure. I know for a fact in China, them boys is betting. That's big money in China. That's all they care about. Wild ball. If you're going to go play wild ball, I talk about wild ball. You go check out I got a couple videos on here talking about wild ball, getting started in wild ball, everything you need to know in wild ball. I got a couple videos of guys who had their experience playing wild ball and being on these teams and situations. Wild ball is about betting. It's about people putting together a team, trying to win a tournament and betting on the games. That is what wild ball is about in China. Asia, betting is big business. South America, betting is big business. I don't know how. There was a situation. I'll tell this story and I'll finish up here. There was a situation where I really felt like this guy had a bet on me. I know for a fact my teammates has bet on me because one of them told me my very first game, I didn't even know I was in the country. I ain't gonna say what country it's in. But on the I guess I don't know what it is. The ticket said I would score 18 points on my first game. It was my first game back into the league. It was like my first game back, you're gonna score 18 points. I scored like 35. And he said, yeah, man, I bet on him to score 18. He already got 17 and a half. I got my money. He's like, I already got my money. Now, of course, I didn't know that, but I know God, one of my best friends who lived there told me, he said, bro, the second division in this country, he's like, all I used to do is, hey, we need to lose by this much. Go place the bet. They come to me on Monday, drop off the bread. I did nothing but bet. Nothing but bet. I didn't do any. I played when I wanted to. I did other things. I had my own apartment. I was living in the capital. All I ever used to do, go fix the game, say, hey, we need to lose by 40. Lose by 40, win. It's not sustainable. Sí, obvio, yo vivo en México 2-3 veces. Ellos tienen la mejor comida. Muy, muy buena comida. Allá y en Tailandia tiene muy buena comida. And so I'm in this country and I went to go play the playoffs. If you follow my career, you kind of put two and two together. So I went to go play in the playoffs. I got picked up after Argentina to go play in the playoffs in this country. And when I got there, somebody that worked with the team was like, hey, yeah, I'm the one of the reasons why you got here. And I was like, yeah, I knew he used to be a sponsor or something. So he's like, yeah, I put up the money that can get you here. So I was like, all right, bet. Okay, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all working that out so I can get my money. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not coming without the bread. If you want me, you got to pay for it. So he was like, all we got to do is win these 2 games. Just win these 2 games. They had split 1-1, and then they brought me, and then we had 2 games at home. So I'm coming back, and we got games at home, and I'm with my old coach. And so I was just like, he was like, you're the only person I would ever do this for. Anybody else, I wouldn't. But for you, with you, I'll change anybody. But you're the only one. So I was like, all right, bet. Dude came up to me, he's like, bro, we just gotta win these games. We win these games, I'm gonna give you something. And I was like, what? You're gonna give me a bonus on top of winning the game? Shoot, I already wanna win, just cuz. Get to the game, I go crazy. I think we win the 2 games. First game, I went for like 30 and 12. Second game, I went for like 24 and something. I averaged like 27 between 2 games. I went 27 and like 13. I went just dumb. We won the games. He came to me the next day, dropped like $1,000 on me. 500, I don't know, it would be either $500 or $1,000. He dropped it on me. Boom, man, here you go, man. Appreciate you winning the game for it. I know he was betting. He was so adamant about winning those games because they put money down. He was so adamant about winning those games. Man, we just got to win the game. We just got to win these two. And I'm like, we won the first one. Just one more. Just one more. I'm like, why is he so? They betting. They bet. Betting is big business until you get caught. What's the old boy who was in the NBA getting paid $2 million and got caught winning $20,000 in earnings altogether? Betting is big business. Betting is big business until you get caught. Betting is big business until you get caught. Stay away from them betting. It will cost you more in the long run. It'll cost you more in the long run. Listen, man, that's all I got for today's episode. I'll catch back up with you guys tomorrow. Remember, greatness is a habit, not a right. Till next time.